ShayeSaintJohn.net. There's no denying that art often overlaps with the macabre and the creepy. In 1999, a video known as Strange Dolly circulated online. The video was one of several featuring an apparent former supermodel and internet personality who had allegedly been disfigured in a train accident and who had rebuilt her body from components of mannequins in place of prosthetics. She was generally shown to be confined to a wheelchair in a truly bizarre costume, wearing masks and wigs, and exhibiting a haunting manner of movement which regularly involved wooden hands on sticks. Her odd behavior was attributed to her having been the subject of various CIA experiments. This was Shaye St John. In 2006, a YouTube channel was created to host Shaye St John's bizarre short films, which chilled viewers all over the world and encouraged speculation about the true origin of this outsider art. Whilst the original home of the material, ShayeSaintJohn.net, and the corresponding YouTube channel have since been taken down, excerpts from the website, as well as bootleg clips and images, still exist. The Meet Shaye page of the website stated, quote, "Long story short, I am an entertainer, I am a model, I am a singer, I am a magician, I am an actor, I am so many things. I am also the world's record holder for having the most problems." Shaye was personally active on message boards, forums, and blogs, where many strangers befriended her, often talking long into the night about all manner of things, but especially the arts. Disturbing, surreal, and hypnotic, the videos, as well as Shaye's character, were created by Eric Fournier, a punk musician and visual artist based in Palm Springs, California. By all accounts, Fournier was a shy, troubled artist, and it has been suggested that the character of Shaye functioned as a way for him to exorcise his demons without taking the spotlight. Fournier died in February 2010 from health complications driven by alcoholism, but to this day, there are those of his friends and acquaintances who deny that he was Shaye, and maintain that she is still alive somewhere in hiding. The Red Room. In an interactive flash game that circulated in the early 2000s on a now-deleted GeoCities website, players followed the story of a Japanese schoolboy who was told by his friend the legend of a cursed pop-up ad. This pop-up only appeared when browsing a particular website, and it consisted of an image of a red door with the words, "Do you like?" scrawled across it. Most disturbingly, a child's voice, through the computer's speakers, read the message out. Each time the schoolboy attempted to close the pop-up, it would immediately reappear with another word added to the message, until the child's voice finished asking, "Do you like the Red Room?" The final iteration of the pop-up contained a list of names, one of which was the schoolboy's friend. Both boys are later found dead in their own rooms. While this may be nothing more than a scary flash animation, it is said to have inspired a real-world murder. In 2004, in Nagasaki, Japan, a girl was discovered dead in one of her classrooms. A classmate who had been seen with her at the time was questioned and immediately confessed to the crime. She claimed that the victim had been cyberbullying her. The killer's identity was protected, and she was not deemed old enough to be culpable, as per Japanese law, but she was sentenced to spend several years in a mental health facility, where she was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. Investigations revealed that the killer, known as Girl A, had a morbid fascination with the dark side of the internet, and that she had her own website where she shared creepy and gruesome content. The website appeared to have been inspired by the Red Room pop-up, which was also found in Girl A's browser bookmarks. The incident became known as the Sasebo slashing, and the internet reacted by generating memes, even forming a fanbase for Girl A. Some of those who have investigated the incident cite the Red Room animation, along with the novel Battle Royale and its film adaptation, as primary sources of inspiration for Girl A. Metamimetic Magibon Project. The Metamimetic Magibon Project, now largely inaccessible due to its outdated Flash player requirements, was a bizarre fan site celebrating the YouTuber Magibon, who was extremely popular in YouTube's formative years. Magibon posted short videos, generally running for under a minute, in which she would do little more than look into the camera, showing off her particularly large, unblinking eyes, and occasionally making vague references to Japanese culture. The website, Magibon.com, appears to have been created by an obsessive and potentially deranged fan of Magibon's named Frank. It featured a grainy black and white video of an individual, presumably Frank himself, wearing a gas mask, and clawing and clutching at a wall with images of Magibon projected onto it. The wall also shows a stick figure drawing of two figures holding hands. Other videos involve disfigured dolls, disturbing close-ups, and superimposed text in poetic form, some of which were taken from Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. While it seems clear at first that Frank is a manic fan and online stalker, something not uncommon in certain corners of the internet, the true creator and intent of the website remains in dispute. Initially, the public attention on the website sparked rumors that Frank and Magibon were knowingly part of a viral marketing hoax, an effort to promote a Japanese horror film. Other speculations suggest that Frank and Magibon.com are creations of a visual artist by the name of Danung. Timecube. Before its domain expired in 2015, Timecube was a personal website created by Otis Eugene Ray, who claimed to be the, quote, wisest man on Earth. Featuring a long stream of centered text, a few crude diagrams, and little else, the Timecube web pages outlined Ray's theory of everything, which he called Timecube. Timecube claims that all modern sciences work to perpetuate lies in a worldwide conspiracy by omitting and ignoring Ray's theory, which states that each day, in fact, consists of 4 simultaneous days. In addition to sharing his nebulous theories of time and space, Ray described himself as being a, quote, godlike being with superior intelligence who has absolute evidence and proof. He seemingly despised the academic world for not taking his claims seriously. Ray employed a wide range of self-invented jargon, which was never defined, as well as odd text formatting choices, resulting in rambling and illogical passages. The website also contained various allusions to racist ideologies, as well as terminology and ideas that seemed to mock the mentally ill. So confident was he that he offered $10,000 to those who could disprove his theories, but this could not be done due to the fact that Ray's theories and workings were so far removed from rational scientific frameworks. Modern analysts have stated that the text should not be analyzed from any logical point of view, and suggest that it is simply the product of an unstable individual. Ray himself claimed that his brilliance surpassed known knowledge to the extent that a psychiatrist diagnosed him with schizophrenia. While the Timecube website may have expired, it has been archived, and a video of Ray speaking at the Georgia Institute of Technology can still be found on YouTube. Silk Road. I will close with an infamous website almost too notorious to mention on YouTube. The emergence of the dark web gave rise to the first prominent online black market in February 2011. Users could visit this website to buy and sell just about anything without revealing their identity by paying in cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. The most popular items sold generally included illegal substances and weapons, but fraud, hits, and other dark services were also discussed. Founded by an individual known as the Dread Pirate Roberts, named after a character from the 1987 film The Princess Bride, the website became synonymous with organized crime. In October 2013, the website was shut down by the FBI, and then 29-year-old Dread Pirate Roberts, whose real name is Ross Ulbricht, was arrested, tried, and sentenced to 2 life sentences without the possibility of parole and a $184 million fine. It is estimated that the website facilitated over 1.2 million transactions, totaling $183 million in just over 2.5 years of operation. Since its demise, numerous other dark marketplaces have sprung up, each hoping to take the place of the internet's top destination for clandestine trades and the exchange of sinister services. The fact that dark marketplaces are still so prominent speaks to the untamed nature of the internet itself. There's no doubt that such websites will persist. In the words of Wesley from The Princess Bride, I inherited the ship from the previous Dread Pirate Roberts, just as you will inherit it from me. Thank you for watching Dark 5. Don't forget to like and subscribe to continue exploring the greatest mysteries of this world and beyond. And let me know if there are any other creepy internet curiosities that you want me to investigate.